So now that we've gotten all the formalities out of the way, I would love to introduce you to Ms. Rachel Villanueva. She is a coordinator with our Post-Secondary Partnership Programs Department. She will be sharing important information about college and career readiness, including information about financial aid that you can utilize for your students.
Thank you. Good evening, students and parents. Thank you for taking the time to jump on this evening to engage more with your student. My name is Rachel Villanueva. I'm the College Access Coordinator, and let's just jump right into college readiness. So my quick agenda, I will overview the Dallas ISD College Access Program. We will explore some careers, college exploration, college admissions, and paying for college. Next slide, please. So the College Access Program was created in 2010. So we've had it around for quite some time now. We have 4 different college access providers in our district who serve every high school, every Title I high school. So that's a total of 35 high schools that they serve. The Academic Success Program, Education is Freedom, the Princeton Review, and Southern Methodist University. All of these college access providers assist your students once they get into the 9th grade with college applications, college exploration, career exploration, when it comes time for the financial aid application, scholarship search, scholarship essays, college application essays, and all enrollment steps. So it is a great benefit for your student because they are at their high school campus and ready to serve them with all of these college admission steps. Next slide, please. So let's take some time to reflect and dive into career exploration. You can go ahead and just click through. All right, so some self-reflections that you should ask yourself is, what do you care about? What are your values, your interests? And what skills do you want to obtain? Click again. And with that, you want to think, what is my personality? What kind of work ethic do I have? What kind of lifestyle am I seeking? These are all really important questions to ask yourself when you're considering what career that you are gearing up for. So do you enjoy working alone? Do you enjoy working in big, large groups? Do you want to sit at a desk from 8 to 5 p.m. or would you rather work with your hands? You know, you want to think about all of these items. Next slide, please. So diving more into career exploration is research. When you're researching these colleges, there are many websites out there that will provide you self-reflection and kind of like a reality check. Go ahead and click. So you want to ask yourself, what education and what training do you need? Is the job that you're interested in, is it needed? Is it always needed? What is the beginning salary? So these websites here are great to visit. I highly recommend when you're searching into your career. My favorite is Texas Reality Check. It actually gives you a calculator where you can plug in like what you think a car payment is, what you think your mortgage will be, groceries, all of these things combined. And at the end, it gives you a lump sum. And it's like, okay, well, this is how much that I should expect to make. Let me look and get a reality check to see what career best suits me based off of the lifestyle that I'm wanting to live. Also, YouTube and blogs are always great because you can hear from those professionals themselves. Next slide, please. All right, so the step 3 in career exploration is gaining experience. So maybe it's taking related high school courses, like your dual credit classes or the P-Tech or collegiate classes, because some of them can be hands-on and really give you that experience that you're needing to see if it's something that you want to further after your high school education. Maybe it's an internship. Again, P-Tech and collegiate, they offer great internships, a summer job shadowing or volunteering. Those two, the job shadowing and volunteering, I highly recommend. Maybe Maybe you're interested in being like a dental hygienist. You can go and shadow somebody of that sort, or maybe it's a principal, maybe it's a teacher, maybe it's a barber. You can shadow these people and see if it's something that you would enjoy doing in your everyday life. Next slide, please. All right, college exploration, excuse me. So I can't stress this enough when you are deciding on what college that you are looking to attend. You want to visit the campus, you want to visit where you would live, you want to taste the food at the campus. You just want to get a good idea of what to expect when you are considering your college. So I recommend right now, there's a lot of virtual college fairs out there, but I know that COVID is finally, winding down. So they are allowing some campus tours, which are great because it's large groups. You get to meet different people from different areas who are also considering the same university, so you can connect in that aspect. College preview days and tours. You also have college representatives who visit you during your lunch hours. They set up tables, they have general information about their institution and can tell you what the steps are to get into their institution. There's lots of virtual college tours online, and of course, social media. Next slide, please. So some important exam timelines when you are in high school is that 10th grade, the PSAT. That PSAT gives you a general idea of where you're at in terms of your academics. So it's definitely great to take that and then to work on that and to improve your score so that in 11th grade, when you gear up to take that October PSAT, that qualifies you for scholarships, you're more ready than you were in 10th grade. And so in the spring and the summer, you should gear up to take an ACT and an SAT. These are two different tests. The ACT is more heavy on your science and math, whereas the SAT is more heavy on your English and literature. So I think for me, if I were choosing which one I wanted to take, I would take both. And then I would outweigh and see which one that I would like to focus on to increase my score. And then in 12th grade, finally, you should take an SAT and ACT again to be able to send those scores to the colleges that you are applying to. Next slide, please. So with those tests, there's free test prep. Khan Academy has free test prep. They actually have an app. And then our district has free SAT and ACT boot camps that are actually being held currently this year virtually, but they're held during the day, which is nice that students can pre-register for this and get that boot camp assistance. So it's one-on-one from a teacher in a small group of, I think, like under 30 students, but it's just that additional practice that's free, because this test prep can be pretty expensive if you try to go to an outside vendor. So really just try to gear in and see what resources are within our district. EdReady is another free platform that the district has purchased for students to prep for the Texas Success Initiative and also SAT and ACT. So I definitely recommend EdReady to your students. It's accessible through their Clever account. If they have any questions on how to access that, I recommend reaching out to their counselor just so that they can get some direction. And then you can always view the essay prompts and the rubrics and samples online. They have them up there all year for students to see and just get a gist of what the test is like and what essays and what to expect. Next slide, please. So all in all, college admissions are these simple steps here. You're going to apply. You're going to submit your high school official transcript at the end of the year when you graduate. You're going to submit your official test score, whether that's a TSI, an ACT, or an SAT. You're going to submit letters of recommendation if the institution requires them. Mostly your four-year institutions will require those. Your community colleges will not. You will also submit a bacterial meningitis vaccination. So you'll need to show proof that you've had this vaccination within the last 5 years. There's many clinics in the Dallas area that provide this vaccination for free to students who are going to college. I know right now Dallas College is running a clinic where they're giving that vaccination for free, which is great because it can be a costly vaccination if you do not have insurance. So they're not requiring an insurance card. They're just requiring a parent to come with the student to get this vaccination. Again, that's at Dallas College. And then you'll submit your financial aid, and we'll go over that in a second. And then completing your testing requirements, attend an orientation, and then finally you register for classes. Next slide, please. All right, so how will I pay for college? So there are 2 different types of financial aid applications. So we have our FAFSA, that is the free application for federal student aid. And then we have the TASFA, which is our Texas application for state aid. 2 separate parties apply for either one. So you can see here who applies for the FAFSA and who would apply for a TASFA. There are trusted websites that you want to use, at studentaid.gov or FAFSA.gov. Anything else, don't use it. If they're trying to charge you, don't do it. You do not pay to fill out this application. So who fills it out? All students who apply to college or community, career, technical, trade will fill it out. Students with a valid social security number will fill out the FAFSA. Otherwise, you're most likely going to qualify for the state aid, which is TASFA. When do you fill it out? Beginning October 1st, your senior year. That is when the application opens. You don't want to miss the school's priority deadline. They provide the monies to the students who meet that priority deadline. You can fill out the financial aid up until the day of school, but will you get your money in time? Probably not. So that's why that priority deadline is very, very important. Something important to keep in mind is this is just the first step. So you'll want to check your emails from the college after you've completed your financial aid. FAFSA, again, is for everyone with a social security number. Otherwise, it's TASFA. And then FAFSA doesn't give scholarships, though some colleges, mostly all colleges, require that it is to be completed to be considered for scholarships. So fill it out anyway when you're a senior, and it opens up October 1st. Next slide, please. So some financial aid basics. There's 3 types of federal student aid. There is your grants, which can be considered free money because this is money that you don't have to pay back. And then there's loans, which is an investment to your education, but it is borrowed money, so you will have to pay that back. And then there's our work study. This lets you earn money while you're in school, so it's earned money. I highly recommend a work study job. It's a part-time job. It allows you to work at the college campus part-time. You go to class, you go file some papers. What's nice about this is that your supervisor knows that you are there for college. You're there for academics. They're not going to overwork you. They can only work you so many hours. So it's a very flexible job. So when you're filling out your financial aid and it asks you if you're interested in work study, just put yes. And then if later on you're not interested, you can always change your mind, but it's just better to put it on the front end. Next slide. So what's next after you fill out your financial aid? The student will check their email for an updated email from Federal Student Aid. You'll make corrections by logging back into your FAFSA in case there's any questions that they have. Every college is going to receive a student aid report. You may hear someone refer to it as SAR, but this is just available to you guys to see how much money you qualify for, and it'll break it down for you. I'll show you that here in a second. But student must apply to the colleges that you list on there. So it's a good idea to do that before you fill out financial aid, right? You can change, you can add colleges later if you decide, well, I don't want to go to UNT, I want to go to SMU. Okay, we'll log back in and at SMU, and they'll get that student aid report, the SAR, to their institution. Colleges will notify student of eligible funds after the student is accepted for admission. and FAFSA is processed. That's key. So you're not going to know what funds you're eligible for until you are accepted into that institution, okay? You do not have financial aid until you receive an award letter from the school and accept it online. So again, you have to wait till you're accepted, and you have to wait till your FAFSA is processed. And remember, the FAFSA is the first step, not the only step. Next slide, please. So lastly, some financial aid tips. You'll complete the form using your prior tax year return. So you can look at it as, okay, I'm going to fill the FAFSA out with my tax returns from 2 years ago. If you work, you'll use yours and you'll use your parents'. The form is available in Spanish. Use the Irs Data Retrieval tool if given the option. It will save you from sending, it'll save you firstly looking through all these documentations. Using the Irs Retrieval tool, you'll put in your tax information like your name, your address, your social, and then it's going to pull all of your IRS information into the financial aid application. So it's just that easy. You won't have to go line by line. So I definitely recommend the Irs Data Retrieval tool, and it'll pop up when you're filling it out. Men will sign up for selective service in order to be eligible. Don't enter parent information in student information, especially with income. There's a great help icon at the top of any FAFSA entry page for explanation. They have gotten very detailed in their help tools, so I highly recommend that tool. And then they have an online chat feature as well. And something else to keep in mind, this little graphic here, the special circumstances. So there are many different circumstances that I know that students face. So maybe they lost a parent or a spouse, or the parents lost employment, or the parents are divorced. These are all special circumstances. So when you're filling out the financial aid and something changes, the financial aid office at your institution is really good about trying to sit down with the student and understand their circumstances, and kind of get a detailed reporting to see if they're able to financially assist that student. So don't count it out. Always speak to the financial aid office about your special circumstance. Next slide, please. Lastly is your financial aid award letter. Here, this is just an example, and it's pretty small, so I know you can't read it. But your financial aid award letter is provided to you by your institution. What it does is it provides you to understand the cost, evaluate the financial aid offer that they're giving you. You must formally accept the award for the school that you choose to attend. And then once you decide which school to attend, keep in touch with the financial aid office to find out when and how you get your aid. I know it sounds pretty cumbersome and overwhelming and a lot of information, but what's great is, you can go to the next slide, but what's great is that you have somebody to assist you at your high school and at your institution. So just keep that in mind. And lastly, there's types of scholarships. So we have the merit-based, which is your academic scholarships, like your GPA, your rank, those sorts of things. Then we have your athletic or your ability. So basketball, track, band, choir, dance, lots of different scholarships there. Then we have the need-based, your sociological, maybe you're the first generation student to go to college in your family. Institutions love that. They want to give you money for that, which is awesome. There's institutional scholarships, which is like your freshman scholarship, maybe you're a business major, things like that. And then also there's national scholarships. Target has scholarships. Your cell phone, like AT&T, they give scholarships. They may have an essay, they may have some requirements, but there are lots and lots of scholarships out there. And you don't have to wait to be a senior to apply for scholarships. There are scholarships out there on College Board. Next slide, please. On College Board that here they have them like when you start from a freshman. So please just know that you don't have to be a senior to get a scholarship towards your college education. So many times there are eligibility requirements for scholarships. It's a GPA, it's a rank. Like I said, maybe it's Are you a first-generation student? So they just all vary. How do you apply is usually through a portal online. Sometimes it's a mail-in. I know a lot of the ones that I've been getting this year have been through a portal. When are the deadlines? There are many, many deadlines. With scholarships, they vary. So it's important when you see a scholarship to start getting ready to apply for it, because the deadline may sneak up on you. And then what types of scholarships do they offer? So freshman scholarships, again, your major scholarships, and like donor scholarships. The website here at dallasisd.org, College Access Program, I put scholarships on there that I get in through email. I put scholarships in there that College Board, Raise Me, those two there, freshmen through seniors, they can apply for those. So I highly recommend looking at those. Next slide, please. Okay, so I know that was a lot of information, probably too much information about financial aid, but I hope that it gives you a glimpse into what to expect when you are beginning to be college ready. The bright side is that you're not alone, that we have the College Access Program in our district, of somebody who is on your high school campus ready to help you with all of these steps. So you don't have to start alone, somebody is there. And I'm going to hang around for a little bit, and I'm going to look at the chat. I see we might have some questions, and I'll just answer them as I see them. But my name is Rachel Villanueva. You can search me on Dallas ISD if you have any questions. I'm happy to assist you. But that's all that I have. I know it was a lot, but thank you. Have a good evening.